Welcome to DT2 Comics Chat Review. Today we'll be reviewing Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. Man, that's a mouthful. But first, a word from our sponsors. Read comics. Your enjoyment of a show is enhanced when you read the original source material. Click on the link below this video to get some outstanding comic recommendations. The good. So many great things about this show. The casting is on point. This was actually my first time seeing Lena Headey in anything. She was great. Thomas Decker's great. And Summer Glau as Cameron. I mean, she really made the whole show. The cinematography is great. Costuming, lighting, the angles. The scope of what they're trying to do is very visceral and very personal, yet you still get that same sense of energy that transfers over from the movies. I mean, it's just fantastic. The storyline is great. Now here, they were trying to create something that was not a retread of what we've already seen in the Terminator movies. And really, that's what I think disappointed people the most about this show. This show was kind of billed like it was a continuation, and it is, but I think people were expecting Schwarzenegger and Hamilton. I think they were expecting that all over again, and that's not what this show is at all. This show is its own space about what happens right after the end of T2, what John and Sarah's lives would be like, and showing John in that transition period between being a little kid, an adolescent like we saw him in T2, and becoming the grown man we know he's destined to be. So it carved out that space really, really well. All the Terminators are great. They're very convincing. The CGI is great. Just a fantastic show all the way around. The meh. Now, in terms of what I think was kind of meh about this show, not much really. Just a few nitpicks here and there. One of the nitpicks I have is Cameron says that they're designed to blend in, but there are several times in the episode where Cromartie, the original Cromartie, is out in the open with his endoskeleton exposed. So, I mean, once you see that, people know that Terminators exist, so they know, there's something bionic or metal about them. So I didn't agree with that idea. And I think it was a little bit more accurate that Cameron herself was a high-level infiltrator. Everything about her programming was designed to get close to John and gain his trust. So there may have been a little bit of projection on her part, honestly, because the 888s and the T-800s, they're not subtle at all. So I don't know, I don't think it's fair to call them all infiltrators, even though Kyle Reese did in the original T1 movie. That's when the Terminators with human flesh started showing up. So that's the idea. But Cromartie is definitely not subtle or low-key or trying to hide anything about his makeup. And even pounding his way through the bank vault. Again, how could a regular man do that? So no, don't necessarily agree that, they're programmed to blend in and all that. But anyway, another thing is I've always wondered why the Terminators can't run as fast as cars. Like when they run at the same speed as like a human would run, and I don't understand that. I would have always assumed they could run like, with bionics, like 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. I really don't see why they couldn't, but okay. The other thing is when they come out of the time jump towards the end of the episode, I have to cut them some slack, I guess, because I guess that would be disorienting. But they do kind of stand there naked and kind of, blink with the deer in the headlights thing, and they've been trained. They've shown us all episode about how everything about Sarah and John's training is to react, to get out of danger, to not be seen, to keep a low profile. That's really a strong emphasis. But again, I'll have to cut them some slack because they are just coming out of the time displacement bubble and they're naked and they don't know what's going on. So I guess we can give them some disorientation points. But again, that's just, just small little nitpicks. Love this show. Love the pilot. It's directed by David Nutter. He's got a fantastic success record with directing pilots, and it draws you in. The thing you have to do with this show is you have to pay attention to the details, because every episode drops clues about a plot line that's going to develop later. So you got to pay attention to the little clues that are going on, and there are a lot of clues in the pilot about things that will be developed later. The ugly. So in terms of the ugly, I don't really have any. I really don't think there's anything ugly at all about the show, which is rare, but I thought it was great. There wasn't anything that really happened that totally took me out of the experience. The only one thing I will say, and this is just a nitpick, okay, is I don't understand why they couldn't put in one scene to show us Sarah Connor dyeing her hair. Sarah Connor at the end of T2, in both movies, is a dirty blonde. Okay, she's got dirty blonde hair. Lena Headey has jet black hair with, a tinge of brown. And I don't understand why they couldn't show just one scene of Sarah dyeing her hair. As fans, we pay attention to stuff like that. Stuff like that is important to us. It jumps out at us. I've never understood why they don't cast actors that are dead ringers for the characters they're trying to play if they're pre-established characters. And if they look different, they ought to have at least a scene or two explaining, what was going on. So again, that's just kind of a nitpick of mine, a pet peeve, a personal pet peeve of mine. It's just something I've never quite understood. But in any event, fantastic show, fantastic pilot, sets up the premise, it sets up the situation, lets us see, what's going on with their lives. Very passionate, and it emotionally draws us in. Makes us care and wants us to see about what's coming next. So, fantastic pilot, highly recommended. A+. 10 out of 10. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to know when new videos drop.